when I found out how much more money you could make this way, I was like, what? What? Hi, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jade. I am a full-time marketer and I'm also a side hustle addict. And why I say that is because I have 4 side hustles. I have 2 online boutiques, 1 Instagram account, which I'm going to be talking about today. And I have this lovely channel, We Side Hustle, which is a YouTube channel, website and Instagram. So let's just get straight into what today's video is going to be about. I'm actually really excited to film this one because I've had quite a few questions about it. It's got to be all about my Instagram account, which I run with my boyfriend. It's called Orange Collective. We've had it since December 2018, and back in Jan we actually found a way to make money from it and basically monetize it when we only had about 3,000 followers. So what this video is going to be about is how we went about that. And I'm going to conclude the video by telling you how much we actually planned on earning every month when we first started our journey and how much we've actually managed to make every month. So I'm going to be giving you the actual figures and we'll be breaking it down. So if that's of interest to you, then please keep on listening. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so let's start with a bit of background on Orange Collective, right? Because when I say the name, people can't usually figure out what it is. Basically, Orange Collective is an Instagram account what myself and my boyfriend started. It was after we got back from a trip to Rio. Honestly, best holiday I've ever had in my entire life. If you've not been, then go. Like, incredible place. But we basically just got back from a trip from Rio, and we realised that when we travel, we take loads of content, and we normally have quite a backlog of like photos and stuff that we don't post on our personal Instagrams. And we just kind of thought, why don't we create a separate Instagram account where we could just share like every photo that we take. So that's why we started it. And then we came up with Orange Collective because, you know, being marketing people, we were like, oh, we need a brand. And orange is one of my favorite colors, so we came up with Orange Collective. It's all edited around that color basically, so that's like the feed's aesthetic. So the first thing I want to talk about is our brand collaborations, because that is the primary source of income for that channel, right? And basically the main platform that we started to use was a company called Tribe. I've got a link in my bio if you want to check it out. The reason why we used Tribe was actually because we went to an industry evening where they were talking about the benefits of using the platform, but they were talking about it from a brand's perspective. So for brands who were trying to recruit influencers, right? And myself and my boyfriend work at the same marketing agency. I'm literally making us sound like we're the weirdest couple. We have a joint Instagram account. We work in the same place. And it makes us sound like we're one of those couples who are like basically one person. And that's honestly not us at all. I don't know how we even ended up in this situation, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. We work at the same agencies. We both work in marketing, right? So we actually went to that event together as more of a work perspective, like 9-to-5 job perspective. And then when we were there, we were like, oh, actually, this could really work for Orange Collective. So that's kind of how we landed on Tribe. And the whole purpose of Tribe is about connecting brands and agencies with influencers. But the way they do it is brands submit a brief, and influencers or Instagrammers or content creators, they respond to that brief by purchasing the product that's being promoted, taking a photo with that product to fit the brief, and then submitting that photo on the Tribe platform, right? So as the process of doing that, they set the price that they want to charge for that photo, they write the caption, and the brands will then sit down and look through all the submissions and then approve the ones that they like, right? And then once they approve it, you get told when you need to post and then you get paid. It's really simple. What I will say is that the process favors the brands. So if you imagine this from a brand's point of view, this is a dream come true, because you submit a brief and then all these people go out and purchase your product. They take a photo with your products and all you got to do is accept it, right? The reason why I feel like it's worth flagging that, and that's probably the biggest consideration of using Tribe, is if you are going to apply for jobs on Tribe, you know, apply to work with brands whose products you don't use or like, you might find yourself purchasing loads of products and then not actually getting accepted for the job, and then having products that you don't really like just in your flat that you've spent money on, right? So you would have actually made a bit of a loss from that. which is why it's really important when you're using Tribe to only apply for briefs for brands and products that you already like. Therefore, if you don't get accepted for the job, which happens, we get declined all the time, probably more than I'd like to admit. But if you don't get accepted for the job, it doesn't really matter because you like the products anyway. So how much can you actually earn from using apps like Tribe? The good and bad thing about apps like Tribe is that they make it really clear how much you should be charging per post. And when we first started out and we kind of saw these figures, we were like, okay, fine. We were just happy to be making anything from our Instagram, especially because it was so small. And I'll put a clip of what their website says on the screen, but I'm just looking at the numbers now as well on my laptop. And it basically says between 3,000 to 10,000 followers, you should be charging between £50 to £100. What I'll say, because that's obviously the bracket that we fall in, how we figure out how much to charge within that £50 to £100 is based on the quality of content that we've produced. If there's content that you've produced and you think, this fits the brief, I've done 4 photos, so it's a carousel, and I know that my audience are going to react really, really well to this, then that's when we're going to be charging the £100 end. I'm interested to know what you guys think of those costs, because on the one hand, as I said, when you're small and you just want to make a bit of money from it, then those costs are great. However, and this will bring us really nicely onto my next point, it's nowhere near as much money as you could be making. So the way that you could be making more money through Instagram collaborations is when you are working directly with an agency or a brand, as opposed to an influencer marketplace, which is what Tribe is, right? And when I say agency, agencies are basically the middlemans between the brand and the influencer. So the reason why you make a lot more money when you're working with agencies or brands is because the nature of the brief and what they're requiring from you is often quite different. When you're using a marketplace like Tribe, it's very transactional. The brief is kind of there, it's very top line, and by that I mean it's not majorly detailed. And brands just kind of swipe along, approving which ones they're going to use, and then they get one post on the influencer's page as a result of that. When you're working with brands or agencies directly, they're usually trying to create a campaign which has a lot more assets as part of it. So it might be an IGTV, there might be stories, there might be grid posts, posts on your feed, there might be loads of different stuff that you need to create. There's also a lot more what goes into it in terms of the creative process. It isn't just hey, we want to promote a deodorant, take a pic with this deodorant. It is more hey, we're trying to get this message across through using stuff like this. Can you go out there? Can you buy this? Can you show it in this context? Can you show it in that context? Can you tell us why you want to use it? There's a lot more what goes into it, which means that you put in a lot more work. So it's all relative, right? You're putting in more work, which is why you're going to make a lot more money. However, when you're putting in more work, but when I found out how much more money you could make this way, I was like, what? What? It's literally almost 10 times more money, depending who you're working with. Madness. Absolute madness. So it's not that it's huge amounts of money, it's just when you compare it to the Tribe amounts, which we were earning £100 per post, these campaigns, when we've worked with brands directly, it's anything from £400 to £1,000. We've only just started working with agencies and brands directly, and we've only had a couple of jobs go through. But we're hoping to work with them more in the future. And the reason why we've only had a couple go through so far is because it's a lot harder to get those jobs than it is to get the smaller ones on Tribe, right? Basically, it's kind of out of your control, in all honesty, which I know probably isn't what you want to hear. But basically, how you get them is by showcasing what you can do when you're working with brands and how you collaborate with them. And the best way to do that is by collaborating with brands and having some case studies to show. So if you're just starting out, working with a marketplace like Tribe is great because you build up your portfolio. They have some really great credible brands on there, and you can showcase that you're capable of meeting a brief and working with brands. And therefore it makes you more attractive when agencies are looking for brands to partner with, or when brands are looking for someone to partner with. So that's honestly the best piece of advice I can give you. Another thing which is worth noting, when you start to work with agencies, it's really important that you build a good relationship with those agencies, because those agencies usually work with multiple brands. It's not just one, right? So if they've recruited you for one brand and then their other brand has a similar brief and they need a similar type of influencer, and they love the work that you did with them before, you're gonna be front of mind and they're gonna be like, oh, I've got a great person for you, don't worry, right? On the flip side, bit of a story. Basically what happened, there was an agency who had invited us to a few different events and we went to them, and this is more of a gifted collaboration, so we weren't getting paid, but they were free, which is amazing. So we were going to them and we were capturing content and sharing it with our followers, right? And we went to this one event, which was okay. I think the issue with the event was the service was really bad and the food was really bad, right? And our whole thing is obviously about, on our like Instagram page, it's like experiences and food, and like that's what people, I feel like, expect to see from us, is recommendations of what they could be doing like anywhere really in the world. So we didn't feel comfortable after going to that event sharing content from the event and encouraging people to go see it. What we wanted to do instead was to share feedback with the agency we were working with to see if they can pass it on to the brand, and also just politely inform them, like, until they kind of fix or work on these issues, we don't feel comfortable promoting it. They did not take that well. They did not take it well. They weren't happy with us at all, and basically that relationship is like gone. That's okay though, like we've made our peace with that, and as far as I'm concerned, I would have much rather lost that relationship and still had that trust with our followers than vice versa. So as promised, I said that I would conclude it by telling you how much we originally set out to make per month from our Instagram this year and how much money we actually made. We set out at the beginning and we were like, okay, we want to make £75 a month because we were really small. We knew that we were going to be charging like £50 to £100 per post, and we just felt like that basically meant that we should be trying to get one brand collaboration per month. We had some months where we did this, like the first few months hit the ground running, great, but that was also pre-COVID, really, before that really took off, so that's probably why we found it a bit easier. And then obviously everything slowed down. We also had a few deals, and this is really sad. We had 2 deals in the pipeline in March, and they were big deals because they were directly with the brand and they required loads of content output and stuff. So they were going to be paying really well, and unfortunately both those deals fell through. One because the brand needed to cut back on marketing spend because they were going to be going through hard times during COVID. And the other was actually the opposite. They were one of the brands who done really well during COVID because of the nature of their product, it's basically all around like home delivery and stuff. So they were actually like, we're doing really well and we don't need more customers, so we don't actually want to increase our promotion, which is fair. Hopefully, later on at a later date, they'll reach out to us again and we can get those deals back up. But we did lose out on some significant money there. But anyway, let's get to the numbers. So in total, we made £630 from Tribe, which I'm actually really proud of. So that's over across quite a few deals. And then we made £950 from direct brand / agency deals, which is obviously really great. I think the first deal we did, which was direct with the brand, we didn't charge enough, and the second one we definitely did. So that's what kind of made up the money. So that is a grand total of £1,650, which works out to about £137.50 per month. So smashed the target of £75 per month, which we're really happy about. And yeah, we're really pleased, actually, really, really pleased. First time kind of making money from Instagram. And it's just a nice bit of money to put in the savings, So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you're interested in these type of topics, whether it's starting a side hustle or leveling up your side hustle game, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading videos every week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Comment, like, do all that fun engagement stuff, and I will see you in the next video.